Hi, I'm Lam. Welcome to another episode of Keeping Up with the Queen. I create this show so that you can have a closer look into my life. Well, anyone can call themselves a queen these days, so why not? Enjoy. So today I'm going to show you the challenge people saying if I only keep blah number of eyeshadow palettes, and I actually kept only 8 eyeshadow palettes, and I'm very proud of myself, and that's not an easy thing to do. So I want to show you the 8 eyeshadow palettes that I keep with me. I actually get rid of the rest of my eyeshadow palettes, and that was a little bit painful. But now after everything is said and done, I feel a lot better knowing that I don't have too many things laying around that are not getting used. And also, I know that every time I reach for one of these eyeshadow palettes that I will get the best results that I'm looking for, and they are amazing quality, and I always feel so excited to use each and every one of them and give love to each and everything that I own. Now I will let Lam from the bathroom take over. That I divided into 4 categories. So one for smoky looks, one for everyday look, one for colorful look, and one for travel friendly palettes. So I only keep 2 palettes in each category, and now I will show them to you. First of all, let's do the travel palette, travel friendly palettes, because this is something that I like very much. I like a palette that is small, compact, but you can still able to create a complete look, and hopefully more than one look with it. The first palette is something that is new to my collection, but I've been reaching for it a lot, and I think this is going to be a fabulous traveling palette, and that is the Natasha Denona Mini Glam Eyeshadow Palette. And this palette is very neutral. A lot of people saying it's a cool tone palette, but I have to disagree. I think it's a very neutral, and it still has some warmth to it, but it's $25 and it has 5 shades. 2 are shimmers, and this one is a crazy glittery shade, so you can use it to transform any look. And I love the formula of this eyeshadows, and I think the values is very good, because I can do a little bit of a warmer look using these colors right here, and then I can do a little like an olive tone look. The second palette in my traveling friendly category that I keep is the Viseart Rose Edit palette. This is beautiful. It's much softer in color payoff than Natasha Denona, so I actually rearranged the colors a little bit. So these 2 rolls are very neutrals, and these 2 rolls are colorful. So you can see there's so many things you can do with this palette. Everyday look, this is very important, and it's very hard to narrow down because there are so many neutral eyeshadow palettes that I owned before, but I narrowed down to 2 again. So the first of all, of course, is the Marc Jacobs Scandalous eyeshadow palette. It's amazing. You can do very neutral looks. You can go very smoky using these, and you have a little bit of colorful option with the red, but mostly you really cannot go wrong for a daily look. And I love this middle transition shade right here. It's like my favorite transition shade of all of my eyeshadow. It just looks so amazing on my skin tone. So I love this palette. I have to keep Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam Eyeshadow Palette. Now, you can't go wrong with this palette. This is my favorite Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. There is a bone shade, there is a dark brown, there is a black, there are a lot of like transition warm shade, there's a cool shade, there's some pop of colors, shimmers, everything. Probably if I can only keep one eyeshadow palette, it's probably be this one. So the first palette that I love for a smoky look is the Pat McGrath Labs Mothership Subliminal Platinum Bronze palette. The packaging is not friendly for traveling at all, and I feel like it's such a waste of space, but Pat McGrath is for an experience, so I accept that. And this palette is so amazing. Do you see that? There are only 6 shades, but they're very versatile. Basically every look you can use these 2 colors to darken and brighten, and then you can go 4 different options. You can go light purple, you can go dark purple, like brownish grayish purple, you can go bronzy, and you can go olivey gray. So you have 4 different smoky options, and maybe 5 if you only use these 2. These colors right here, although they are shimmery, you can still blend them into your crease of your eyelid and it will still look fabulous. I think the key with Pat McGrath is just you have to use a little bit at a time and then build it up slowly. And because the shades that she creates in these palettes are so saturated and so pigmented, sometimes it can be tricky if you're a beginner, and if you like pack a lot on at once, you won't get what you want. You have to try to go slow, and usually what you get with these kind of shadows, exactly what I want, a smoky look. My last smoky option is, I would say, what is meant to be a neutral palette, but it's geared toward darker skin tone. That's why in my medium skin tone it's become like a smoky look most of the time, and that is the NARS Skin Deep eyeshadow palette. You have very interesting bigger pans here for the shade you will use the most, and then you have a few different options for going different ways. This is a great palette, and it's actually what I have on right now. And I really like this for smoky look. It's so easy to use. The colors are not as pigmented as Pat McGrath, and it's not as easy to blend, I would say, but it's still very beautiful, and it's so good for so many different skin tones, so I love that. So the last category of eyeshadows that I want to show you that I keep is gonna be colorful options for when you're going out or when you're just feeling a little frisky that day. The first one is gonna be my Anastasia Norvina palette. You know, Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow formula is just one of the best out there, and the price point I think is very fair. There you go. You still have a lot of neutrals like these shades, and then you have some colorful options in here, and purple and blue, but it's still pretty neutral, so you wouldn't be able to go too colorful with this palette, which is what I prefer anyway. So I love this palette, and the formula is amazing. It comes with a brush, but I take it out. I don't like to keep the brush in the palette. That's Norvina. Last but not least, the final eyeshadow palette of all 8 that I keep is gonna be the Charlotte Tilbury's Starry Eye to Hypnotize. This is a beautiful palette. The packaging is an experience once again with these brands. Very neutral still, but it's a little bit more colorful. This is a neutral bronze. This is a little bit more pinky, orangey. This is very olive. This is my favorite section of the palette. It's an olivey green, but it looks very natural on the eyes. And then this is, you can go a little bit smoky. It's very similar to VZR eyeshadow formula in terms that they're very soft in color payoff, and the look that you come up with are not very crazy or smoky. Usually you don't get that. Usually I get a very soft look. Soft, elegant, like soft glam kind of a look. You can see still it's very not too colorful, but more colorful than what I usually go for. So there you go. Those are all the 8 palettes that I keep. I keep these palettes because They make me very happy when I use them, and I look forward to use them every single time. And let me know in the comment section which eyeshadow palettes that I show you that you have used before. If you do any decluttering in the springtime, share with me what eyeshadow palette I should get. That's it for this section. Thank you for watching. Hi, Steven.
Hi.
What's good? With everything that's going on in the world, I sometimes get really worried about my parents. They're staying in Vietnam, and Vietnam is very far away. I have a friend who lives in Vietnam. His name is Steven, and today I decided to call him up to ask about the situation in Vietnam. How's the situation in Vietnam?
Situation's pleasant here.
Pleasant?
Yes. It's very peaceful. Not too many cars on the street.
Steven is one of my closest friends. He is very kind and he has a very smart brain. He knows all about the financial system. How about the disease?
It doesn't seem like there's very much disease here.
You had it, right? A few weeks ago, Steven told me he had headache and he felt tired. So I suspect that he had COVID-19 and he was just hiding it from everyone. So I decided to get to the bottom of this.
What?
You had it, right?
When?
When you say you were sick?
Of course I didn't have it. If I had it, I would be sick for weeks.
Yeah, that's true. How many people had it now?
I think maybe 250 people around. It's better than, I think, pretty much most of the countries. I think it's a combination of a lot of things. Like, they're very assertive about tracing people's contacts to see who you interacted with.
Oh, so they're doing a really good job there with that?
Yes.
Wow. And people are staying inside or are they still going out?
I think they're mostly staying inside. Restaurants are closed, the bars and movie theaters are closed.
I'm glad to know that it's safe there because my parents are still in Vietnam. I'm really worried.
Yeah, it's pretty safe here. Oh yeah, there's another thing.
What happened?
It's illegal to go outside without a face mask here.
Illegal?
Yes.
From when?
There should be a fine to be given to people who don't have face masks.
Wow.
I'll try very hard to get to the United States.
Yes. No, but I mean, if it's like really bad in here, I don't think you should come back until it gets better.
Well, I want to go in Seattle.
Wow, it's always so much fun to hear from Steven, listening to his adventures.
Are you still living in Ellensburg?
Yeah, I'm still here, and we're planning to start our traveling on Monday or Tuesday.
What states are you driving through?
When Steven asked me about my traveling plan to Arizona from Washington State, I had no idea what to tell him because, to be honest, I haven't really talked to Aaron about this. I don't really know the exact route we're going to take. Also, I am not sure about whether we are going to start our quarantine once we get to Arizona or we will start it the moment we leave Washington State. And that could save a little bit of time so we don't have to wait so long until we can meet the parents. I think he is planning to drive through Oregon and then Utah, and I think next to Utah is already Arizona, right?
Right, I think so.
Yeah, so probably that route. So we'll stop by some kind of nature places because right now we shouldn't meet people, so we're gonna sightseeing by like hiking and then So I
Well,
think
if you pass through Oregon, then you'll probably be near Hood River. I highly recommend to stop there.
Hood River, okay. And then I think in Utah we're gonna stop by Salt Lake City because there's something near there, I guess.
Oh yeah, there's a salt lake over there.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. So I'm very worried about all those sightseeing because it's always extreme hiking involved. Like 2 days ago we went on a hike here and then I flopped.
Literally flopped.
Look at my injury. Do you see that?
Yes.
I flopped onto the ground because of the ice. I was so embarrassed.
Sounds fun.
No? Now my butt is
Hopefully
probably...
the weather will be warm enough so that there's no ice.
Yeah, but it's probably still gonna be traumatizing for me.
Maybe you'll get hooked by a cactus this time.
I will... What, Steven? I thought you were my friends.
I'm just warning you ahead of time.
Well, thank you so much for giving me an update. I was really worried about Vietnam because of my family and my parents. But now I feel a lot better knowing that it's not too bad. I feel really relieved right now that I know my parents are relatively safe and I know that they're taking good care of themselves. They know what to do. They are staying home and I think they'll be okay, and I'm going to keep talking to them every day. It's just that when I talk to them, they don't really tell me the details. I think because they are worried that I will be nervous and worry about them. But it's good to hear from Steven that in Vietnam, it's actually pretty good. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I do. If you do, please don't forget to give this episode a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future episodes. And spill some tea in the comment section below. I hope you have a great day and remember, don't flop.